Hi, I'm Alexa. It's my channel. Welcome. It really frickin' sucks to have been the toy of a narcissist. So let's talk about it. What is narcissistic personality disorder? As always, I will leave stuff in the description so you can click the links, go and read up more for yourself. Definitely Google search, whatever, if you're interested in the topic. But from the Mayo Clinic, narcissistic personality disorder is a mental health condition in which people have an unreasonably high sense of their own importance. They need and seek too much attention and want people to admire them. People with this disorder may lack the ability to understand or care about the feelings of others, but behind this mask of extreme confidence, they are not sure of their self-worth and are easily upset by the slightest criticism. So I saw a couple of videos today, and I wish I could have found them again. From what I can tell, this person has actually been diagnosed with a narcissistic personality disorder and will talk about situations and how he feels in certain situations. And these two videos that I saw today were really talking about narcissistic control, especially when a relationship ends and they are still obsessed with the other person because that other person is theirs, right? They own them. And in one of these videos, he was talking about Toy Story when Andy used to play with Woody the whole time, right? And then he found a new toy. He didn't give Woody to someone else to play with. He put him in a box. And I started thinking about this feeling that I have had with someone in my life that I don't talk to anymore, but the feelings, I'm still working through them. I felt like a toy that was put on a shelf. And I would be taken out and paraded around as this, I don't know, like the same way some people show off their cars at a car show. And it was almost like they were doing this to prove that, oh, look at me, I have this relationship, right? And this idea of him talking about Toy Story and putting the toy in the toy box, not giving it to someone else to play with, that really sort of hit home. So I'm like, that's exactly what I had been thinking. And I've been thinking for a long time, over years. It's been, a long while since it's happened. But I was also starting to think about when I was much younger and certain events that happened in my childhood really did occur because my mother and my sister were battling for ownership of me. And at first it was my mother battling my father, and then it was sort of this fight between my mother and my sister, and I didn't know it at the time. And so this is where recently those feelings have kind of been coming up for me. I remember I must have been 11 or 12, and my sister was really mad at my mom. I must have been mad at her too. And my sister was like, we're going to run away. We're going to pack. And my mother was sitting watching us pack. And I have to laugh, but it's really not a laughing matter. My sister and I was just bawling the whole time from what I can remember. And my sister was like, don't listen to her, Alexa. Don't listen to her. She's lying to you. She's lying to us. Just keep packing. And I mean, listen, I actually still have one or two of the bags that I was packing that night. I have this little pink denim backpack that I've had since I was, I don't know, gosh, I must have been 4 or 5 when I got it. And I just started thinking about that event. And the conversation I remember was all about who was going to get me, who was going to win. And this wasn't the story that I meant to tell tonight, but I guess it's the story that I needed to talk about. When you Google narcissism, there'll be some places that say there's 3 types of narcissists, some will say 5, one thing I found said 14. And as with many things, I think it's a very sort of a spectrum of the feelings are there. They're the similar feelings of that need to seek the attention and needing people to admire them, needing control. But the way it manifests in their life is also dependent on other things. So the one type that's in all of the links I could find is the malignant narcissist. And so they have high levels. I'm going to say this wrong because I don't have it open. Sorry, let me take a quick look here. The malignant narcissist, it's got, I believe, psychopathy, narcissism, and something else. Let's take a quick look. Why is it not showing it to me? Yay for being prepared. Well, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to continue with what I was talking about. This video got me thinking about narcissistic control and the behaviors that narcissists do, the things that they do, the behaviors they exhibit in order to try and control the people around them. And one of the links I'm going to leave is 8 insidious ways narcissists try to control you. And ironically, one of the YouTubers I watch was actually talking about stuff today, and everything she was saying is like classic signs of narcissistic abuse and control, like projecting or infantilizing, which is where they make you feel like they're an adult and you're just a pathetic child who doesn't know what you're talking about. Minimizing, so when something is bad and they do something bad, they're like, you're crazy. Why are you even mad about that? Like that's nothing. Oh, you're so stupid. You don't even understand what's important or not, right? Like really minimizing stuff. So the eight ways that narcissists control you in the article that I am going to talk about are projecting, which is where they'll blame you for doing what they're doing. So if they are cheating on you, they will say you're cheating on them and blame you and make you try and prove you're not. Or if they are lying to you, they'll say you're the one who's lying, right? Whatever it is, if they will project what they're doing onto you. They will tell you your reality. They will tell you what you experienced. They will tell you how it is. They will tell you what you feel. You don't get a say, okay? They know better than you about what you have inside, what your feelings are. Badgering. If they want something, they won't stop until you agree just to shut them up. They will just go on and on and on about it. And sometimes it'll be very covert, sometimes it'll be really overt, but they will badger the heck out of you until you just can't take it anymore. You're just like, fine, whatever, let's do it. Mentioned infantilizing, which is really making you feel like you're a child and you don't know anything, and they're the adult and they're the parent, they get to control you. Because in our society, obviously, parents do control their children in a way, do get to make decisions for them and so on. Minimizing, when you bring up a fear, mentioned this just before, they basically say, oh, that's nothing. Why are you even worrying about it? Like, I think you can, I don't really need to say much more about that. Going nuclear, this is the one that, well, I think first, I'm going to jump down. So shaming is exactly what it sounds like. Whenever you might ask a question and be like, wow, how stupid are you? You don't even know that? Or did you feel stupid that you don't know that? Like making you feel shame in some way, shape, or form. And then flattering. So flattering is the narcissist's gold mine. They will make you feel like you are the best person in the world, the most special person in the world. They will, there's the term love bombing. It is very much like that, although it's not like love bombing to me is a little different, because this is not necessarily the beginning of a love relationship. This could be a friendship or whatever, but they really flatter you to make you feel like they're a nice person and they like you and you're worth something to them. And it floods your brain with the happy hormone, dopamine, I think, something like that. Going nuclear is the opposite. It is, in my experience, a switch flips. Everything is fine, and then it's not. And I look back at my own life and I look at how much I have suppressed my own feelings and really tried to keep the peace, as that is my modus operandi. I'm a pacifist. I try to keep the peace. I try to smooth things out. When I get frustrated, I'll always try. I do it even if I don't want to. I'll be like, well, I know I'm mad, but maybe they didn't actually mean it. I'll always start that process before most other people do. That's what I do. But there is a point with people like myself who are pacifists that if you push us past a certain point, we just can't take it anymore. There's nothing else. And then, of course, making you feel crazy comes into play, because, like, why would you react like that to something so small? Like, you lose it over the stupidest tiny stuff. And it's like, it's not a tiny thing. It's 1,000 tiny things that I just lost it over, right? Like, it's not just one thing. This going nuclear is a little different. This is exquisite control, where going nuclear would hurt them in the eyes of other people. So you often hear about abuse where abusers are like, they're so nice in public. I've never seen him talk badly to this woman, like, and she's saying he abuses her, but we never see it. No, of course you don't, because they don't do it where you can see it. They have the control to hold it in and to act perfectly fine until they get home. And then the second they are in their home, their car, wherever it is, where other people can't see it, that it flips like a light. It just goes from happy and joking to destroying you, demolishing you, talking down to you, blaming you for absolutely everything. All of the other things that they do in the negative sense, in this going nuclear, it just comes at you. And I've been on the end of some of those, many of those rages. And they'll never apologize later, even when they find out. I have several examples where I had someone go off on me because of they thought I did something, or they blamed me for something happening. And then a week or two later, we found out that I like literally had nothing to do with it, just like I said. And they'll come and they'll be like, so I found this out, and completely forget that they had blamed me, not even apologize. Like, it's astonishing when you experience it. It's very destabilizing, and it does make you wonder, was it really that bad when they yelled at me? Like, did I misunderstand it? Did I, like, should I be expecting an apology? Should I not be expecting an apology? Maybe it wasn't that bad. Maybe it was just like a laughable misunderstanding. It wasn't. It wasn't. But it makes you feel that way, especially when you haven't yet reached the point where you can realize what they're doing. And like, I suppose I disconnect from it. I have this sort of thing where I'm like, nope, not engaging in that. And when you don't engage, oh my gosh, the rage becomes worse. First, they're going to try and use flattering to bring you back in, because they're trying to flood your brain with the good hormones that you can get addicted to. But when that doesn't work, the rage and the hatred is going to take over. And you really have to know that other people's opinions of you are none of your business. I would say that that's one of the biggest lessons I've had to learn in the past 7 or 8 years. Other people's opinions of me are not my business. At the end of the day, I know that I have done my best. I know that I have been kind where I can be. I know that I have owned my mistakes. I have apologized when I need to. I know that I have lived up as best as I could to my own values and my own aspirations, my own hopes for myself. And when I go to bed and I know that I've done my best, that has to be enough for me. And if you say that for yourself, hopefully that's a way for you to move forwards as well. It's actually, it's like liberating, because when you're constantly trying to live for the approval of someone else, which a lot of childhood trauma abuse survivors do, people pleasing is a real thing. When you finally get to a point where you're not actively people pleasing all the time, when you finally can get to this point where you don't actually care about everyone and what they think of you, and it's not like a straight line, you do before and you don't after this date. It's sort of a wave. But when you can sort of get out of this worrying about what they think about you, there is a liberation there, a freedom that comes with it. And I am definitely pursuing that still. A lot of synchronicity this week in some of the realizations I had just thinking about my childhood and my past, and some of the other more recent relationships, some of the videos and stuff I have seen recently online. And then really, I was literally looking stuff up as I was watching this live stream of this other YouTuber earlier, and I'm like, this is literally the topic I'm researching it for resources to put on my video tonight. Like, just a lot of synchronicities and a lot of, I guess, validation that I'm not alone, that narcissistic abuse is a wild thing to experience. It does take a lot to recover from it. It is not something you suffer overnight, and it is not something you can recover from overnight either. I probably have a lot more thoughts on the topic of narcissism, but being a narcissist's play toy is one of the most demoralizing things I think that has happened to me once I realized that that is what it was. And I hope that if you have suffered or potentially are suffering, that you're able to get help in some way, and to get out of that relationship. You do not deserve to be unfairly blamed for things that are not your fault. You do not deserve to be made to feel crazy. You do not deserve to have your emotions, your mental, physical, just your well-being in general to be hurt intentionally. Look at this baby love who loves me. Hi. Yeah, I love you too. Come on, hook up. Come on, hurry up. You couldn't wait 2 more minutes for me to finish this video, huh? I hope you have someone or something like Cain that realizes when something is really tough, and that they are there for you the way he has been here for me. If you've made it this far, thank you, as always. Drop a like, subscribe, leave a comment, and maybe just be a little bit kinder to yourself tonight if you're struggling. See you next time.